Factory Stocks getting ready to close out what will be their practice session. They'll be on the way. Should be roughly about 7 of them left. Mini stocks. You need to be in staging right now. Mini stocks. You need to be headed to the Fathead Thread staging lanes right now. Hot shots. Helmets on, guys. Let's get ready to roll. You will follow those mini stocks. Welcome, race fans, to the Talladega Short Track. It is day 1 of the 35th annual Ice Bowl here from the Hornets' Nest. Welcome, everyone watching at home on YouTube and on Facebook. Welcome to Crate Racing USA TV's coverage of this weekend's 35th annual Ice Bowl. Hello, everyone. I'm Cody Early guiding you. We are in our Factory Stocks practice session right now. Keenan Vandergriff, 17.130, currently sets atop. Rod Tucker second, Austin Burke third. Hunter Runyon sets fourth, and Hazen Schreier sets in that 5th spot right now. As we have what should be, I believe, our final group of factory stocks on the racetrack. 51 of them in attendance. Hey, if you're watching on the YouTube and the Facebook channel, hey, we want you to join us all weekend long. Head over to CrateRacingUSA.tv, CrateRacingUSA.tv. Get that subscription and watch all weekend long. Tonight, action will have Talladega Sportsman Limited Late Models and Crate Racing USA Street Stocks. Both of those divisions will qualify and run their heat races tonight. We got this final group, I do believe, of factory stocks on the racetrack. Trying to hit that top time of 17.130. Corey Presley in the 133. Corey just went 19th fastest. We'll see if anybody else can get close. Maybe anybody into the top 10. We do. Chris Elliott, the E19. He just went all the way up to 8th. And we got him slow. As you've seen that come right into your living room in the Wormies Wrap Speed Cam. That was somebody coming slow right at the top of the racetrack down the back straightaway. I believe that might have been the 2 car. David Edmondson. I don't know that he got up to full speed. He's definitely not full speed exiting the racetrack. As a matter of fact, that's where he stops. So it looks like he is going to have a push, and he will make his way off of the racing surface. As we mentioned, been talking about it on the broadcast, our official car count. We've watched that move as the day goes on. 334 right now. 51 of these factory stocks. The biggest class right now would be the Hot Shots. They sit at 56. That's the top mark. As there you get the aerial view. Welcome above the Velocita by Melissa Markowitz drone footage high atop of the Talladega Short Track. Welcome to the Hornets' Nest. There you see the mass. This is the parking that's just outside of turns 1 and 2. There you see that, of course, the newer addition to the Talladega Short Track, that outside retaining wall. And there you see what is the mass of cars that have assumed down here in turns 1 and 2. Beautiful shots high above the Talladega Short Track for the folks that are watching at home on the YouTube and the Facebook. Thank you so much for being with us. Get that subscription. Join us all weekend long. I'm solo with you today. We'll have Late Model Mark with us tomorrow. He will join in as we got cars ripping around the top side of the racetrack. We saw it earlier. A couple of the factory stocks were cleaning out everybody on the front row, and we got another one that's doing it now. Keenan Vandergriff still sets atop the overall time chart, 17.130. As we got him ripping the top side of the racetrack all the way around this facility, and that is Chris Elliott in that E19, the one we were watching there on the top side of the racetrack. We'll see if he goes back up there again. It's his last chance. White flag's in the air. No, he'll stay middle to the bottom. We'll see what he does. Last time he was 9th quickest. We'll see if he improves, and he does, but he stays 9th fastest. Jace Isabel in the 76 car. He was 7th fastest. He's fastest overall in this group. But Keenan Vandergriff, he will reign supreme. 17.130. He's fastest in our factory stock practice session. Rod Tucker, Austin Burke, Hunter Runyons, and Hazen Schreier. Round out your top 5 cars as we take another look at your Velocita by Melissa Markowitz drone footage. That, of course, the go-kart track here at the Talladega Short Track, Talladega Raceway Park, to be exact. And there you see the mass going all the way to the back of the facility. Cars as far as the eye can see, and still a few more to come. I still think there will be some more roll in with more of the competition coming up tomorrow. So got some breaking news for you tomorrow if you're on the grounds and if you're in the pit area. Heads up, some breaking news. Gates will open at 7:30 tomorrow morning. Gates will open at 7:30. We initially had that start time set for 8. Gates will open at 7:30, and we are going to try to have cars on track tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Get your coffee, get your biscuits and gravy, and get here to the Talladega Short Track tomorrow morning. 7:30, gates open, and try to have cars on the racetrack by 9 tomorrow morning. Originally, we had it set for 10. We're going to try to beat some of that weather that's rolling in later tomorrow afternoon. So cars on track tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Oh, yes, breakfast and racing. That's a great way to start 2026. Here is that footage. Once again, the Velocita by Melissa Markowitz drone footage high atop. This will be the outside of Turn 3, looking right at these cars as the mini stocks have now made their way onto the racing surface. 37 mini stocks are here. And the yellow flag already coming out. We got one around in the mud down here in turns 1 and 2, or actually down here in turn 4. There you see a good look now. Got himself out. That's Todd Brewster in the 21. I heard his name multiple times today. So once again, the mini stocks on the racetrack, the hot shots, all that's left here in this practice session. Of course, 5 o'clock, supposed to shut things down. We'll get ready for preliminary racing action here on day 1, scheduled around 5:30 or so. So right now, rolling pretty good. Does not look like we'll get to roll into a second round of practice. So this one practice session, everybody able to take part of, I think 5 to 6 laps is when everybody's got a chance to work on the racetrack here this afternoon and get a chance to fine-tune things. At least to try to get everything where it should be. Todd Lehman, he's out there on the racetrack in that 96. Just seen Austin Baxley up to second in the 01. There is the 96 of Todd Lehman. Just mentioned him just a few moments ago. Todd right now 10th out of 10th. So he's got some work to do in that 96. Car just slipped under him's Austin Baxley. He's second fastest. Yellow flag back out on the racetrack. We got one around. Looks like Brewster might be into the tires down here in turns 1 and 2. So once again, welcome out to the Talladega Short Track, the 35th annual Ice Bowl weekend. 9 divisions, about everything you could think of. Super late models, limited late models, 604, 602, street stocks, factory stocks, mini stocks, hot shots. And then, of course, the only class this weekend, the non-fendered boys, the Crate Racing USA Modified Sportsman. Everybody else at least starting with their fenders here this weekend. That doesn't mean they're guaranteed to finish with them, but at least they're starting with them. So a big thank you to you. And, of course, if you're watching on the Facebook and the YouTube, CrateRacingUSA.tv. CrateRacingUSA.tv. Go get that subscription and watch with us all weekend long and find out who takes those beautiful Ice Bowl trophies coming up on Saturday. Of course, we just made the announcement a moment ago. I'll do it again. Gates will open 7:30 tomorrow. 7:30 start time, or 7:30 gates open tomorrow. 9 o'clock start time tomorrow. So we are to have cars on the racetrack tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So get up and get your favorite breakfast, bring it to the racetrack, and we'll be ready for racing action. There you see the mass. Take a look at the parking lot, the camper parking now. They're calling that, I think that's the North Campground is what I believe I heard that called. Just off behind the grandstand, the campers there. And that is, of course, the Velocita by Melissa Markowitz drone footage. Thank you to Melissa and all she does and all the folks at Velocita. Everything they do for the world of motorsports, especially from the safety aspects. Make sure all these drivers have the equipment they need. And I tell you what, they're hands-on. When you see the Velocita team at the racetracks, they're always hands-on, making sure that those driver suits, those gloves, those helmets fit, making sure you are in good hands with that Velocita safety gear. We're back underway. Mini stocks. Practice session here at the Talladega Short Track. Cruising through what is our next to last division to hit the racetrack in this practice session here in East Tioga, Alabama. We've had that sun shining most of the afternoon. Right now, 60 degrees is where we're at right now, temperature-wise. Just a slight breeze. Moving towards the northeast, about 6 miles an hour is about all we're dealing with. But right now, we're stuck kind of between Gadsden and Birmingham. They're both at 62 degrees right now, and we're setting at 60. Just a couple more degrees. Come on. But it is an absolutely beautiful day. The S1 of John Smart, top of the board, 16.693. Austin Maxley still second here in our mini stocks for their hot lap session. And there you see, of course, more of the drone footage. And that's the big playground, the Talladega Super Speedway, just up the road from us here at the Talladega Short Track. Of course, home to the NASCAR Cup Series, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, the Craftsman Truck Series. Each and every year, the big 2-mile playground of power. That place right there, I'm telling you, if you've never been there to see a race in person, it's something special. And oh, by the way, that whole, have you ever heard them talk about what exactly could fit inside of the actual super speedway? Every SEC stadium. I seen a picture of that. I actually had heard that, and then I finally seen a layout picture of that. And then finally I got a chance to see a photo actually lay out every SEC stadium inside of that. And that's actually pretty cool to know that could actually happen. But that tells you how big the super speedway is. Many stock hot laps continuing here at the Talladega Short Track as we are practice day number 1 of the 35th annual Ice Bowl. Once again, Hot Shots, last call for you. Hot Shots, you need to be moving. I think I hear the buzz coming from the pit area now. Hot Shots, you need to be headed to the Fathead Threads staging lanes right now. back underway we go. In our mini stocks practice session. Oh, we got one blowing up down in turn 1 and 2. Boy, if that killed every insect in the facility down here. Wow. And I think he might have got that car off the racing surface. I don't see any fluid. There's your Velocita by Melissa Markowitz drone camera footage. Michael giving us some awesome shots high atop, not only here, but the super speedway, the pit area. You know, I'm going to see if we can't get him to tie one of those Italian sausages to that, see if he'll bring it over here to the press box. I know John in the production truck, he would probably love to see us make that happen. Just saying. Oh, he said he would rather have the boot on. Well, I'm placing the order, so we'll see. Maybe we can make that happen. We have to find a way to get it through the window first. As mini stock hot laps continue, John Smart still atop, Austin Bailey second, Dylan Milson will be third right now with Brian Hale fourth, and Matt Jackson rounds out your top 5 in your mini stocks. Once again, race fans, wherever you're watching from, on the Facebook and the YouTube channel, you're welcome to the Hornets Nest Talladega Short Track. It's the 35th annual Ice Bowl weekend. Love to have you get the coverage. Go to CrateRacingUSA.tv. Get that subscription. Come hang out with us all weekend long. My name is Cody Early. I'll be with you all day and all afternoon today. Late model Mark, he'll join me tomorrow, and we'll split it up and have some fun for the next 2 afternoons. Actually, 2 days, because we'll start tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Time with day 2 of the Ice Bowl. So checker flag going to come out on this group. Didn't really see any changes. Ray Heyer was 14th. David Griffin was 15th. Dakota Nelms, he was fastest out of that group in the 10th spot. So that gives us 20 cars in with our mini stock practice session. 37 of them as we take a look at the Fathead Thread staging lanes. Cars getting ready to come back over. And the next group will get ready to make its way out onto the racing surface. By the way, I mentioned earlier Fathead Threads. Thank you for coming on board. Custom embroidery, laser engraving. You can give them a call. They're out of Lewisburg, Tennessee, 931-246-0056. You can look them up as we will get ready to have our next group of mini stocks head towards the racetrack. Official car count, 334. It's where we stand right now, 37 mini stocks. Still the Hot Shots holding down the top with 56 of them, 51 factory stocks. That's the top 2 divisions right now. So the mini stocks getting ready to pick it up. Another round of them rolling out onto the racetrack. Jeremy Edwards was there in that 57. Of course, you see they have the option, too, to go with the topless look, just like our limited late models. It's one of the things the sanctioning body allows. Choose to run the topless or the full roof. And I look at that and I always say, you know, hey, it's a topless. Why have that panel on the top of the cockpit? I've always asked that. A true topless, I mean, does that count? if you have that on there, just saying. David Atkinson, the 531, just asking the obvious questions. Is it truly topless if you have that pan on top? Needless to say, caution flag is out. We got one around over in turn number 2. So there's your mining construction replay and just around down in turn 2. Starting to see turns 1 and 2 blacken from top to bottom. We've seen that completely during this practice session throughout the day down here in turns 3 and 4. It didn't take long for turn 3 and 4 to get black from the top all the way up to the edge of the cushion, which is now officially started to build down here in turns 3 and 4. But now we're starting to see turns 1 and 2 blacken from top to bottom and just get slicker as we go. This group will see their practice session come to a close. As there you get a look for the folks on the back straightaway. How about that? You got the college football playoff, Alabama and Indiana in the Rose Bowl. That's going on. That is just outside of turn 3. They got the big screen set up so folks can watch the college football playoff game. You're here at the racetrack. You got every food you could imagine. This is the place to be. And there's the other big screen we got set up in the infield so folks here on the front straightaway can not only check out what's going on. We got the instant replay, plus we got the college football game in the bottom. Now, wait. Now, everybody's got the game but me on my monitor. We're going to figure something out. You can watch everything all over this facility here this weekend. There's the Wormies Wrap Speed Cam. That's just about as the cars enter turn number 1. There you see once again the big screen there in the infield as well. So we have got all kinds of entertainment set up all around the Talladega Short Track. Whether you're wanting to stick around and watch, of course, the college football playoff game today. Of course, Alabama and Indiana just kicked off. Oregon over Texas Tech in the opener. And then, of course, last night, Miami beat Ohio State. How about that? That was a way to kick off the college football playoff. And then, of course, one game later on tonight. And that will be Ole Miss and Georgia. And, of course, the Ice Bowl party will follow on the back straightaway. Got the band ready to go tonight. So possibly you could watch the Ole Miss-Georgia game and enjoy the band tonight here on a Thursday night at the Ice Bowl. That is after we conclude our prelim action later on this evening. So once again, you are watching the Facebook and YouTube live look-in here from the Talladega Short Track of the 35th Annual Ice Bowl Mini Stock Practice Session is what we are rolling through here this afternoon. 38 of them. Should be one more group coming up. And then, of course, those awesome hot shots. And there you see the Velocity by Melissa Markowitz drone coverage. Hey, yeah, I'm waving. How about that? Oh, yeah, there we go. We got the officiating crew over here. And Ethan, he doesn't want to. There we go. All right. So our drone coverage giving us a look here at the Talladega Short Track high above. And there's a look at the press box. That's just off the front straightaway. And there, of course, the infield sign. Wherever you're at this weekend, thanks for being with us. We enjoy having you, and we want you to enjoy the weekend here with us here at Talladega Short Track. If you've never been here, hey, this is day one. Action picks up. Of course, it picks up tonight, but starting tomorrow, now that we know 9 a.m. racing That means Ethan is going to be bringing biscuits and gravy for everybody in the press box tomorrow since we're starting at 9 a.m. I think that should be the requirement of the race director for the weekend is biscuits and gravy for all of us. So there you see the staging lanes, the Fathead Thread staging lanes, and there is the mass. That is the Sunshine Compact Series Hot Shots, the buzz that's getting ready to let loose here at the Hornet's Nest. It's going to have to wait, though. Got another group of mini stocks that will get ready to come out. Of course, once we wrap up with the Hot Shots, we should be right on time as far as getting things straightened up and ready for our prelim action tonight for the limited late models and the Crate Racing USA street stocks. So it is the last group of our mini stocks to go out onto the racetrack. Right now, fastest time is, well, I was looking at my race pass. I always love it when it changes to running order. John Smart, 16.693. Daniel Coffey, Austin Baxley, Brian Hale, and Justin Fairless make up the top 5 fastest times. Fairless, 16.994. That's the 5th quickest time on the board so far with the last group of mini stocks out on the racetrack. By the way, right at about close to about 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, Indiana and Alabama still scoreless out in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Talk about Mother Nature. I know we saw videos of that earlier, but the Rose Bowl, they had so much rain on the stadium, they were having to use squeegees to get the water off the tarp, just to get the tarp off the field to be able to play. Now that's a lot. Pete Smith, 14th quickest right now. I'm looking to see. I believe that might be unofficially the fastest time. Never mind. Michael Courtney. Wow. Michael Courtney, 16.681. Courtney, there has been a Courtney at the top of almost every division they've been in. And they just dethroned John Smart, 16.693. And I would think Courtney might be a little faster. Kind of bogged down in traffic. White flag out. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong white car. Courtney's out there running laps by himself. That's probably why he got the fast time. He's actually not in a mess. Everybody else is kind of racing everybody else right now. Courtney's going to come off turn 4. He'll see the checkered flag. Can he go quicker on his last lap? He will not. So Michael Courtney, 16.681. I was going to say officially. Now it's unofficial. Ryan Vandergriff will be third, but Michael Courtney will be quickest in our mini stocks. And just like that, the mini stocks have wrapped up their hot laps. And I told you we would show you some of the food. There's TJ's Crawfish Shack. And are we placing our orders? Is that what we're doing? We're getting the concession stand drone footage and the Velocita by Melissa Markowitz drone footage. And now we're going over here to the Hot Rod Grill, N&W Hot Rod Grill. O'Reilly Auto Parts here with us this weekend. Stop by there and see them and all of the folks from O'Reilly Auto Parts. A big thank you for them for being out here with us this weekend as well at the 35th Annual Ice Bowl. Practice session getting ready to wrap up, and it's getting ready to wrap up in a big way. Biggest division at the racetrack this weekend. I'm going to refresh before I say it because once I do this, there'll be 7 or 8 more, but 56 Sunshine State Series Hot Shots getting ready to buzz to the racetrack as they will make their way from the Fathead Thread staging lanes just off of turn number 4. There's the Sweet Victory Apparel trailer sitting just outside of turn 3. Stop over there and get you some of the Sweet Victory apparel merchandise. By the way, happy birthday to Chris Ferguson. I seen it was his birthday earlier this week. Happy birthday to Fergie. And there is a look, of course, the iconic Coca-Cola Talladega Short Track scoreboard. I have that thing up later on tonight. Well, moving over the hill and onto the racetrack comes the Hot Shots. They will make their way onto the racing surface. The Sunshine State Series Hot Shots, they will have their practice session. So the cars will make their way out onto the racing surface. Of course, they will have their racing program that will officially get underway tomorrow. And they will pick up the pace and get ready for their practice session. We'll see who can lay down the fastest lap in the Sunshine State Series Hot Shots. Of course, Paul Clayton and the team here this weekend running the sanctioning body for the Hot Shots. 72 there, it's Shannon Siegler in the 72. The 8 car, that would be Tanner Jones. No, never mind, it's C.J. Lee. C.J. Lee in the 8. And never mind, C.J. Lee is in the X. There's a missing data. So we'll see them work their way around. I believe that is an antenna. Look on the top of that X car. Is that an antenna? Oh, we got XM radio in there. Look, yeah. See, yeah, you see exactly. I see what I found. Maybe that's aerodynamic advantage. I'll have to ask Paul. Paul was just up here. I mean, if he's got XM in that radio, he might be listening to the Alabama-Indiana game. Just saying. Hot shot, hot laps on the racetrack for their practice session right now. This first group getting ready to see the white flag. Indeed, they do now. 17.740, David Pope. He's the fastest right now. Shannon Siegler, second fastest at a 17.830. Still got cars working the top side of the racetrack. David Pope, that car that just ran the top side, that's your fastest car right now. 17 point, never mind, missing data just took the lead. 17.654, checkered flags out, Group 1. 57 of the Sunshine State Series Hot Shots on the racetrack for their hot lap session. So we will see Group 2 roll to the racetrack. Right now, 17.771. That's fastest. Tanner Jones is second. Eugene Nichols is fifth. 17.740, top of the board. David Pope is your fastest time. So group number 2 will pick up the pace, and we'll see if we can get anybody to go any quicker in the second group of Sunshine State Series Hot Shots. Hornets, Hot Shots, front wheel drives. How many other compacts? I'm trying to think of all the other names. Of course, everywhere in the country they have a different name somewhere. Oh, yes, John in the production truck reminded me, the Bang Bangers. Yes. How did I forget that? 340-plus cars in a few hours. I guess that will do that. But yeah, totally forgot about that one. So that would be what, 7 different names? 7 or 8, I mentioned. We got our next group out onto the racetrack. Thing is about these guys, you could pretty much hot lap practice like 10 of these guys at a time. They seem to be able to be okay with that. They get out there and it's pretty much a race. Needless to say, there you see Miles Pike, 17.538. He goes to the top of the board in the 20P. Miles Pike, quickest right now. And he's going right through the middle of the racetrack. Checkered flag, no. Yes, as a matter of fact, I believe it was the checkered flag. So Miles Pike goes to the top of the board. 17.538 ahead of David Pope, 17.740. There you see another beautiful shot of our Fathead Threads staging lanes as we look down upon Sunshine State Series Compacts. This next group will get ready to come out. The Velocita by Melissa Markowitz drone footage here at the 35th Annual Ice Bowl. What a weekend it's going to be. I know there's that threat from Mother Nature. Of course, if you didn't hear me earlier, we've moved up start time tomorrow. Gates open at 7:30 tomorrow. On-track action at 9 a.m. And that is tomorrow morning right here at the Talladega Short Track. Try to beat some of that Mother Nature. That is just what it looks like when you come over the hill at Talladega. And I'm telling you, that gives you a little bit of justice. You come up here to the top side, and then it just drops off right onto the racing surface. Of course, Adam Stewart and the team here have got this facility all the way around. This facility is primed and ready to go for another big weekend. The racing surface looks terrific as the drone makes its way over turn 4 and onto the front straightaway. And here comes what is our next group of Sunshine State Series. Hot shots to the racing surface. This group rolling the 4X. I mean, Caleb Manning. The 4X, we'll see. See if he's timing the scoring. No, that's Alan Vickner. Alan Vickner, and boy, we got some changes going on in the top 5. All kinds of shaking and moving. As Tanner Jones just went up to 4th on his very first lap. Not bad for Tanner Jones. Right there is the difference in hot laps and an actual race. You've seen the 6 car get up behind the 101. If we're in a race, they're bumping. I just tell you, 6 car's doing the best he can just to be patient. If we're heat racing or we're racing, we're getting ready to be in the middle of it anyway. 6 car was being patient, and he's the one that may pay the price. Nope, not quite. White flag's going to come just in time. White flag's going to come just in time. It might save these guys from tearing up their equipment. Oh, and the 101, and the checkered flag's going to come out. Boy, everybody's going to take a deep breath from this one. Checkered flag comes out, and it'll break up that mass as those cars were getting ready to possibly do some damage to themselves out here just running around during the practice. There you see once again a look over the pit area, and I believe, well, no, that's not the drone. That's an airplane. It's a bigger brother to the drone, I guess you could say. Looks like they're landing over there at the airport, just off of the Talladega Superspeedway. Of course, the back straightaway, it's pretty cool when you see the planes laying there and come back and forth. So, and there you see that plane making its way in as we get ready for what should be another flight of our Sunshine State Series Hot Shots rolling out onto the racing surface momentarily. And the moon has made an appearance. Oh, no. It's a Thursday night, and it's a full moon. I think I could have done without that, John. John, we didn't need to know that the moon was already full, and we ain't even seen the sun go down yet. So we have our next flight of hot shots making their way over. It looks like possibly, we'll see, I got an official standing up here at the top side of the racetrack. I don't know if there may be some fluid up here at the top side or what might be going on. Needless to say, and maybe they're checking to see if there was some debris up here at the top side of the racetrack. Needless to say, looks like he's hopping back on the four-wheeler. And we'll get ready for our next group of cars to see the green flag here from the Talladega Short Track and our hot shot, hot laps. We need one more word that starts with an H. Hot shot, hot laps. Oh, I've got one. Hot shots, hot laps, heroes. John said hot dog. I'm trying not to think of food. So hot shots, hot laps, heroes. Hot dog. That's pretty creative. We're back underway. Green flag back in the air. We'll see this group come up to full speed. We'll see if anybody can take the top spot. That was Gage Hutchinson, by the way, in that 28. JR, whoa, he's up and off the reservation. And the poor folks over there in turn 4 get another load of dust thrown their way. Tell you what, you got to be brave if you're going to sit over there in that section. And that, you can see the tire tracks just right there in front of that camera view. You could momentarily, you could see his tire tracks. He just got up over there and finally it just went off of the turn 4 side. He's trying to get it turned around. And that car, I was going to say the entire rear wheels are off the ground as we might go to a mining construction replay. Here it comes. The 28 Junior. You're just watching this one live and turning left. You see the wheels turning left. Well, the wheels were turning left, and that car evidently didn't agree with where he wanted it to go, and it ended up going around. So looks like no harm, no foul. He's going to get that car turned around. And they'll get it headed back in the right direction, and we'll pick back up. See that 28 car looks like definitely turning a whole lot better than it was earlier. Hutchinson looks like finally he's got that car where he wants it. Too bad for it to go back to the right now. He's got a car right now trying to get around him. By the way, Logan McVeigh up to second on the board. The 88R missing data again. Third place right now. There's a white flag out on this group for Sunshine State Series Hot Shots in their hot lap session. Unofficially, when this group is done, it'll give us 41 that have taken time. So roughly maybe 2 more groups. I'd say about 2 more groups and we should be ready to go to wrap up the Hot Shots. As I see the limited late models in the staging lanes. Limited late models are already in the staging lane, the Talladega Sportsman limited late models. We might run back through another round of practice. I'm hearing maybe the green-white checkered round for everybody. There you see the looks. This is just off of turn 3 and 4. There you see those final two groups of hot shots, and one's already got the hood up. One's got the hood up. One's smoking. There's a, is that a Saturn? All right. Trunks are optional. You don't want to say that at your local swimming pool. Just saying. Here comes this next group over the turn 4 entrance out of the Fathead Thread staging lanes. The Velocita by Melissa Markowitz drone following them onto the racing surface here at the Talladega Short Track. So next to the last group of our hot shots will roll out onto the racing surface. Sean Harper there in the 99. He will make his way down into the center of turns 3 and 4. As we get to see that sun start to go down, starting to see this racetrack, at least the front straightaway in turn 4 has now, and turn 1 has now completely went into the shade. As that sun starts to set behind the main grandstand here at Talladega. And we will see this group come up to full speed. I was right. Next to the last group should be one more group of hot shots waiting in the wings for their practice session. And the caution's going to come out. We got one up against the concrete over here in turn 4. And man, oh man. That one very similar to what Jason Lively did. Driver's already got his helmet off. That was and there you see the roof. There you see the driver. He's already moving around. I want to say it looked like he had a spinal on his face, but I'm not going to confirm that. As he sets up atop of the turn 4. Here's your mining construction replay coming right at you. And literally coming right at you. Check this out. Wham! Had on his safety equipment. The driver didn't really move. See if we can watch that one more time. We'll get John in the truck to see. Run that through one more time. You could tell he had his safety belts on. Everything was good. The driver really doesn't go anywhere. But that car just simply nose first into the concrete. Take a look at it again. Coming right into your living room in your mining construction instant replay. He's got it turned for all it's worth. Look at the wheels. And coming right at you. Shawammy. That's why you have your belts tight. That's why you have your safety gear on. Perfect. So that will close out our live look-in. For the folks that are watching on the Facebook and the YouTube, hey, it's all up to you now. CrateRacingUSA.tv. That's CrateRacingUSA.tv. There you see the beautiful drone footage looking back towards the Talladega Short Track. Get that subscription. Come back with us. Prelim action tonight for the Talladega Sportsman and Limited Late Models and the Crate Racing USA Street Stocks. They'll have their qualifying and heat race